Let's talk about blacklight neon prints. So if you're familiar with my channel, we do a lot of cyberpunk neon noir style photography here. And today we have a real nice treat. Actually, I've had this idea for a few years, the idea of making blacklight prints, but to be honest, I didn't really take the incentive to do it, and I didn't really know anyone who do them. Luckily, last year I had the pleasure of meeting Black Market Soul. They're a mix of many things. They're like a barbershop slash art gallery slash printing slash bar. Anyways, and a cafe, I think. There are many things, but they're really cool and I'm really lucky to have met them. But they contacted me with the idea of making blacklight prints, and I basically jumped on it because it's been something I wanted to be doing for a long time. So at the moment that I'm releasing this video, I have a pre-order link if you want to buy one. And actually the price is quite fair considering that most regular silkscreen prints go for like $200 to $400. These are only about $125, I believe, plus shipping and handling, of course. I think this is great because I am working on making a book like for my photography. So to have these kind of smaller projects before I get there is amazing. Now, if you want to watch the video on the actual process of silkscreen blacklight prints, I'm going to link the video pretty much at the end. You can check them out. They're Black Market Soul. But I wanted to show you the way these prints came out because they're absolutely beautiful. Like normally when I sell prints, I focus more on making really decent quality and affordable to anyone who wants them. I even make stickers, but I've always wanted to make something very premium, like very high quality, high feel, even if not so many people can buy them, just something really up there. And this was the result. Now, due to the resources required to making this, as well as the labor, and certain photos work very well and other pictures don't work very well, I let them choose because they're obviously much more experienced in these matters. But we only made 40 of these prints, and there's actually a few rejects, quote unquote, but even the rejects really aren't that bad. Like maybe the hues came out a little bit different or there was some misalignment. For example, this picture that I have with me, this is a misprint, but it looks really awesome. It looks like a piece of art. Actually, they were going to toss this one away, and I asked if I could keep it. Either I'm going to frame it or someone's gonna bug me that they want to buy it. Whichever way, it's supposed to be imperfect, but to me, this is kind of what I call perfection. Because if you know me, I like art. You know, for me, photography is art, and you should be doing things like this, even if they're not meant to be sold. You should be doing them for yourself. So this is misaligned, it's actually upside down, but when I look at it, it reminds me of something from like, you know, those 80s, 90s comic books. I'm talking specifically about the Manga Anime books, right? This reminds me of that. It actually reminds me of Akira very much. As some of you know, Akira is like this very famous cyberpunk anime. It's like the anime Bible. But yeah, this is a misprint and I love it. And you know, the great thing about these prints is that each print is a little bit different from each other. You know, some of them have a little bit more cyan, some of them have a little bit more magenta, some of them have a little bit more like blacks, little small specks of glowing light here and there. And so I guess most photographers, they just focus on perfection and everything has to be perfect. But perfection is so boring. But these prints, to me, each one is unique, especially this one. This one's like the most different of all the prints that came out. And it's kind of like film, you know, like when you make quote unquote mistakes shooting film, but those mistakes end up being like really beautiful and timeless and not something that can be replicated. Each print is different. You can say it has its own fingerprint. Like everyone is getting a unique print of the same picture, and I think it's beautiful. You know, I just flat out, I love it. Now, like I said, we're only making 40 of these Cyberpunk Neon Noir prints. You need a black light, of course. People mentioned that it looked like there was a black light behind the picture, like it was backlit, but actually it's not. It's just the reflection of the black light from overhead makes it look that way. So if you're looking at these pictures on my YouTube or my Instagram, they look really cool, but you cannot compare how it looks like in a picture with how it looks like in real life. Like they just look so amazing when you look at them in person. Very much like the first time you print your own work. You know, I've had many pictures that I just kind of print, and when I look at the pictures on the computer, they look like they look all right. You know, not that amazing. But when you print them, it's like they take on a whole different character. So if you've never printed your own work, whether it just be regular prints or pictures, you should give it a try. But yeah. So I wanted to let you all be aware of this technique. For now, we only made 40 of these Cyberpunk prints, but we're actually going to make more in the future, just not the same picture, because I want every picture to be like kind of exclusive. And in the future, we will be making prints with different pictures. So in case you're interested, but you couldn't get one of these, in the far future, there will be more opportunities. And of course, if you're on Patreon, you got a day advance pre-order and a discounted price, you know, because I gotta do something for my Patreons, right? So they got like a discount and they got a day's pre-order advance, and everyone else is going to be released the time of this video is out. So yeah, please check out their video and maybe subscribe to them, because I'll be working very close with them. They're very cool. And yeah, we need more like-minded artists. So thank you very much for watching, and see you around.